Namaskar. Welcome to this session. We are commencing to understand the third limb of Ashtanga Yoga, that is called asana, but precisely it is Yogasana, because Yoganga Anushtanat, the asana is coming. It is in the process, for the purpose of yoga, it is coming. So it is actually Yogasana. So it is a compound word. Yogasana is compound word. It is yoga plus asana. Now, today we are in the habit of rendering it as postures, and there is that major flaw. Our knowledge pursuit gets thwarted by considering the third limb of Ashtanga Yoga as posture, because nowhere asana suggests a posture. Posture is any position of the body. The body can never be postureless. Conscious to unconscious, any states of consciousness, a wakeful state, dreamy state, dormant state, or fourth state, the body will never be without a posture. And therefore, using the word posture here is fraught with flaw, because posture is more pervasive term, in the sense the body will always be in a posture, living or dead, or any state of biological stages. The body will ever be in a posture. A wakeful state, dreamy state, dormant state, there is never a condition that it is postureless. So in that sense it is pervasive, not in the purport of it, not in the implication of it, and therefore it is not proper to term asana as a posture. And posture is always of a body. It is state of body. Therefore, we cannot also say yogic posture, because the posture has always reference to body, and yoga has a reference to chitta. And therefore, in education, we must do away with such expression and such usage that asana is posture, or call it yogic posture. Because what is more important in yoga is more gesture of the chitta, condition of the chitta, and therefore there is nothing like yogic posture as well, which can be used with some justification. Anyway, the point is, we should do away with the usage of word posture for asanas if we are in formal study and formal education about yoga. So what is this posture, which is not a posture, it is asana? What is this asana? It is yogasana. So Yogasana is a samasik pada. It's a compound word. As I just now told you, it is yoga plus asana, Yogasana. Then what is yoga? Yoga is Chitta vrtti Nirodha. So we are going very formally, textually, so that we will be less prone to make a flaw. So we are going by Patanjali's text. So yoga is Chitta Vritti Nirodha. And Chitta Vritti Nirodha is adhering to means, which is Abhyasa plus Vairagya. What is Abhyasa? So you are opening the factor Yogasana. We are taking the first part of the term Yogasana, the yoga. Yoga, now you can jot down the factors there. Yoga, Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Chitta Vritti Nirodha has factors of Abhyasa Vairagya Abhyam Tad Nirodha. So Abhyas and Vairagya components, when they come in proper blend and as a compound, then it becomes the means of yoga, Abhyasa Vairagya. What is Abhyasa? Abhyasa is the endeavor, any endeavor, every endeavor to be steady the Chitta, not the mind. Be steady the Chitta. Tatra sthitau yatnaha abhyasaha. Tatra means where? Chitta. So any effort, every effort to be steady the Chitta and not the mind. That's called Cittasthairyam. So any and every endeavor for Cittasthairyam is Abhyasa. It is not Manovrtti. So it should be noted down here. It is not Manovrtti, Manasasthairiam, but Cittasthairyam. So that yatna, the effort, is called Abhyasa. That means Yogasanas have something to do on the Chitta as a whole and Chitta very particularly. Because yoga is not Manovrtti Nirodha, yoga is Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Manas is a component of Chitta. Manas, Buddhi, Ahankar together is Chitta. And therefore, yoga is not Manovrtti Nirodha, yoga is Chitta Vritti Nirodha. And any effort for Cittasthairyam is called Abhyasa. So that which gives sthiti, Sthairyam to Chitta is called Abhyasa. And that is, that yatna is called Abhyasa. That effort is called Abhyasa. Then what is Vairagya, the other component? Vairagya is Drushta Anushravika Vishavithrushnasya Vashi Kara Vairagyam. So the Vairagyam, as Patanjali defines, is a thirstlessness for Drushta and Anushravika objects. Drushta objects means objects of the terrestrial plane available here in the form of Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha. Vishayas, objects of our senses, of our mind, our buddhi, so which are available on the terrestrial plane, they are called Drushya Vishayas, Drushta Vishayas. Anushravika Vishayas means extraterrestrial objects, heavenly objects, extraterrestrial objects, paralaukika objects. So thirstlessness for the aihika objects, divya objects, swargiya objects, that vitrushna, thirstlessness, is apara vairagya. And of course, apara vairagya has steps, which we had considered during the Vairagya topic of the first chapter. Yatamana, Vyatireka, Ekendriya and Vashi Kara. And what was defined just now, or what Patanjali defined, which we just now considered, is Vashi Kara Vairagya, supremacy of consciousness on thirstlessness. So by any kind of exception, the thirst doesn't bubble up. Otherwise, we are thirstless, but sometimes, somewhere, the thirst bubbles up, which is our weak moment in life, weak moment in mind. The bubble of thirst comes up, desire bubbles up. But in Vashikara Sajna Vairagyam, such bubbles will not be formed. That is why it is called supremacy of consciousness in the seen and unseen objects, and the thirst for seen and unseen objects precisely. And of course, to reach that level, there is Yatamana Sajna Vairagya, then there is Vyatireka Sajna Vairagya, then there is Ekendriya Sajna Vairagya and Vashikara Sajna Vairagya. So one should go back and recrystallize these Vairagya, the planes of Vairagya. So, now understand asanas. That means Yogasanas must be means of Abhyasa, which is Cittasthairyam, and Yogasana must be means of some Vairagya, Yatamana, Vyatireka, Ekendriya or Vashikara. And then that is what the yoga part of the compound word suggests. Yogasana. What is yoga? We have opened out the factors based on Patanjali's treatise. Now what is asana? Asana is etymologically derived as asyate anene iti asanam. Asana is not a posture. Asana is a seat. That's the literal meaning of the word asan. Asan is a seat. So second part of the word Yogasana tells us that any Yogasana must be a seat. Now, what is this seat? Is it seat to body? No. Because many times in Yogasanas you will see that the body is standing upright. And if you are standing, you cannot call that a seat. So it is not seat for body. It is not imperative that the body must be seated in Yogasana, because there are many asanas where the body is not in seated condition, could be supine, could be prone, could be upright, as you know various Yogasanas. The seat is not for body. The seat is for Chitta. So what should be seated is the Chitta, the whole of mind stuff should be seated. That is the complete mind stuff must be seated. So it is seat for Chitta. So basically we have to overcome any illusion meant that asana must be seat for body, or the body must be seated in asana. This is not essential. It is not quintessential aspect of the word asana. Asana is for Chitta. The Chitta must be seated. Many times you feel that when you are standing, you are comfortable, particularly when you are seated for long time, your legs have become heavy and numb, you are more comfortable by standing. You stand for a while, at least, and then you get that a comfortable condition. Maybe after a while you will go back to seated position. Or sometimes if you are seated too long, you want to recline. You want to lie down and you are comfortable. So seat to mind stuff can come by even standing. Because somewhere you are comfortable to be standing rather than seated to be comfortable. Or sometimes you might be lying down and you might be more comfortable rather than seated. Seated too long is not a comfortable thing that you want to recline. So the point is that the asana as seat is not with reference to the body nor even the mind. It is consciousness. So let me tell you at this instance little about the chemical structure of the Chitta. Basically, the Chitta is also part of body. Chitta is part of breathing. Chitta is in the part of mind. The Chitta is entire mind stuff that is subsuming and permeating the physical embodiment, mental embodiment as well. So that is why the word Chitta has been coined in yoga. Mano, Buddhi, Ahankar together. And it should be noted that we have mind in our body. Like little education in practical aspects of asanas will tell you that there is something called as anatomical mind, skeletal-muscular mind. Our body is not a corpse. It's not a dead, the matter of dead elements. And therefore there is awareness of the body, awareness in the body, awareness by the body. Awareness is of the mind. There is awareness of the breath, in the breath, of the breath, by the breath, for the breath. So the awareness is also in the breathing. The awareness is of the mind, is for the mind, of the mind, in the mind, with the mind. And the Chitta is pointing out to all those minds which are in body matters and mind matters, body organs and mind organs, and even in the breath. So we should understand the reference is not to the mind in yoga here. When the yoga is defined, the reference is to Chitta, and the Chitta is not just the core consciousness but entire field of consciousness within which the body matter comes in, mind matter too comes in, breath matter too comes in. So that's why I have given one perspective here to understand what is this term Chitta. Another thing to be noted, it is something like a liquid substance. Liquid substance doesn't have conditions such as standing or supine or prone or sitting or lying down, because the liquid substances always settle down in the container. Whatever be the form of the container, vertical, horizontal, or shapeless, or bizarre shape, or proper geometrical shape, or symmetrical, asymmetrical shapes, the liquid always will be settling down in that container. If you keep a water bottle throughout night time, the water doesn't say that I am standing for entire night time. Water doesn't say, please lay the bottle so that let me sleep or let me settle down. The liquid settles down, whatever may be the shape and form of the container. Contorted, uncontorted, geometrically perfect, geometrically imperfect, bizarre shape, the liquid always settles down. The liquid substance will never complain that during daytime keep me in vertical bottle, during nighttime keep me in a horizontal vessel so that I can spread myself in the tray-like vessel and rest well. Nighttime I want to rest that way. Daytime I can be upright. So liquid substance is something that it settles down in any form of container. Topsy-turvy, even if the bottle is kept upside down, water doesn't complain. Why have you kept me upside down? It will settle there. If you kept the bottle or container upright, it will settle down. If you keep it upside down, it will settle down. If you keep it lying condition, it will settle down. So liquid will settle down in any shape, form of the container. It will never have grudge. So that means the Chitta can settle down in any shape of the body, be that upright or inverted, supine or prone, seated or bending forward or bending backwards or bending laterally or in a contortion. The Chitta can settle down, because Chitta should be understood akin to liquid substance. And therefore, seemingly contorted asana, the Chitta can settle down. Your mind may not settle down in a very contorted pose. The mind will not settle down if the body is in a contortion. But the Chitta can settle down. And that's why we should have a distinction between the mind and Chitta. Because it is otherwise difficult to have distinction between the mind and Chitta, because we tend to hold them alike and one and the same. So the point is, the mind will complain of being comfortable or not comfortable because of the geometrical position of the body, configuration of the body, contortion of the body, etc. The mind will not be comfortable. But the Chitta doesn't have that complaint. Chitta can settle down. So that's a factor of distinction between Chitta and mind, which we can be pursuing in our studies. So the point is, there are seemingly very difficult contorted body positions of asanas. If you look into any book which shows many asanas, there will be many positions of the body where it is contortion for us, and of course it is contortion for body. But it doesn't mean that it should be contortion for Chitta. Chitta is something which is going to be like water. It will settle down in that condition, positional condition of the body, and not complain about it. So that is why we have to understand the difference between Chitta and mind. And as we proceed in our pursuit of yoga, it will become more and more clear. The point is, the asana is defined as sthira sukham asanam. Now, this is simply rendered as steadiness and ease or comfort. And therefore, many of them think that asana should be comfortable and asana should be steady. But a lay person who is not in the dynamics of yoga with education will have this kind of comprehension, which will be weird, strange, faulty. Who should be steady? What should be steady? No one will say the body should be steady and mind should be steady. Who should get sukham? Sthira sukham asanam. So sukham is taken as comfort and ease. Then ease and comfort to whom and to what? Again one will say the body should have ease and comfort, mind should have ease and comfort. Or sometimes it is taken as the body should be steady and the mind should have comfort. Or body and mind both should be steady and body and mind both should be having sukham. Sthairyam and sukham are two components which are given in the definition. So the question should come in inquiry, what has to be steady or who is to be steady? What has to be in ease and comfort or sukham? Who has to have sukham? Now a naive person will think that it is a condition such as I am doing asana. Then we will try to identify only the sthirata and sukhata in I am doing an asana. That is, my position should be steady. There must be sukhata and sthirata, or sthirata and sukhata in the position I take up as yogasana. And I who is doing it must experience sthairyam and sukha. And the subjective entity of pronoun I should have steady and sukhata, or sthairyam and sukhata. So this is how the definition would be taken to understand that I must be steady and in ease and comfort. I should have sthairyam, I should have sukhata. And the posture should be giving me sthairyam and sukhata. The process should be giving me sthairyam and sukhata. This is how it would be taken. Now the empirical condition, if you consider, when you say I am happy, what in you is happy? It is subjective entity. If you are somewhere steady, who is steady in you? So you say, I am steady. So either subjective entity is steady or in ease and comfort, or your subjective entity is steady or in comfort. Because we have disintegrated conditions in our worldly conditions, the subjective entity, objective entity, instrumental entity are like watertight compartments. And then we can identify, is the body steady? Is the mind steady? Is the subjective entity steady? Is the body in ease? Is the mind in ease? Is the subjective entity in ease? And we would think that it is ideal to have all the three in sthairyam and sukham in an asana. But understand here, the education will tell you that you have a needed condition in your embodiment. The subjective, objective, instrumental entities are in a needed state. So you should know what is needed matter. K-N-E-A-D, need. K-N-E-A-D-E-D, needed. So that kind of needed matter. So in asana, the subjective entity, objective entity, instrumental entity, the body, mind and breath, they are needed. And therefore, the associated, unified, integrated pronoun I, and similarly needed, unified, integrated position of that asana, and the body, mind, breath, which are composing that position, constituting the position, they are all in a unified state, ideally. To the extent there must be an associated state, possibly in a needed state, and then ideally in a unified state. So the watertight compartment of subjective, objective, instrumental entity falls apart. So the Sthairyam and Sukham should come to that unified entity, because in asanas, when asanas are rendered on quintessential plane, one is not doing asana. Asana is happening on that person. The body is not an objective entity in an asana. The breath is not an objective entity in an asana. The mind is not an objective entity in an asana. But one self, one subjective entity, that pronoun I, itself is an object which is to be carved, which is to be sculpted, which is to be chiseled, which is to be processed. And therefore the Sthairyam and Sukham is not of the body, not of the mind, but of the unified condition. If not unified condition, needed condition. If not needed condition, associated condition. So the subjective, objective, instrumental entity are capable of coming together in a blend. They are of such material that they can come in a unified condition or a seamless condition. So the sthirata and sukhata is with reference to seamless condition of your being, and not just subjective entity or objective entity, the posture, what you call, or actually that is an asana or body position, that becomes an objective entity because you are doing a posture. So as long as you are doing a posture, you are trying to process the posture, you are structuring the posture, it is not quintessential yoga. When that is done, now there is nothing to be done thereafter, so it starts doing on your mind stuff. It starts carving your chitta, carving, sculpting, shaping, processing your subjective entity, more precisely the chaitic entity. The Chitta vrtti is on the anvil if you are doing asana, and you have heard about Chitta is Mano, Buddhi, Ahankar together. That is Chitta. Seamless condition of Manas, Buddhi, Ahankar is Chitta. The sum of Manas, Buddhi, Ahankar is Chitta. And in asana, that should have Sthairyam and Sukha, not the fragment of our embodiment or being, which is a body. So the reference of Sukhata and Sthirata is not to body, not to mind, but to Chitta. And in asanas, when you go through the preparatories of asanas, orientation of asanas, protocol of asanas, you go for these needed conditions, seamless conditions, and that seamless entity must have Sthairyam and Sukha. This is the in-depth meaning at our level that we must understand. So the point is, the reference is not to Sthairyam, to body and mind, or body or mind. The Sukha is not with reference to body or mind and body and mind, but composite. The composite factors of our embodiment, which is body, mind, breath, senses, psyche, consciousness, the entire consciousness principle, the entire mind stuff. And the mind stuff is also in the body, as you heard just now in the previous session, that there is something called as skeletal-muscular mind, anatomical mind, physical mind, corporeal mind. So the mind is always there, even in the body. And that is the Chitta, the mind which is in entire embodiment, gross to subtle, physical to mental, to physical to mental to sensory. That mind is called Chitta. And of course it has greater depth, taking you to the roots of all those mind matters, which is called samskars. So Chitta is a very, very pervasive subject matter or topic. Right from your mental modifications and appearance state of mind to what underlies them in the form of samskars called subliminal impressions, tendencies. And as I've been telling you, that there is also mind in body, and we also refer to something as tendency of the flesh. Now where do you have flesh? You have flesh in the body. Where do you have your tendencies? You have tendencies in the mind. That means there is integrated or integral mind aspect in the body, which is referred to as tendency of the flesh. So living embodiment has tendency of the flesh. The dead embodiment doesn't have tendency of the flesh, but the living body has. And that's why it can be seen that the mind component, which is also permeating your body matter, such as flesh, bones, tissues, cells, skin, corporeal body matter, that mind is a factor of Chitta. The mind which is in your breath, breathing, by way of breath awareness and breath's awareness, that is again Chitta. So also the mind, empirical mind, which has awareness and which can be awared. There can be awareness of the mind, awareness by the mind, awareness for the mind, awareness of the mind, awareness in the mind. So all kind of mental aspects are there even in the mind. On, in, for, by, with, etc. That is the Chitta component. But that is not all the Chitta component, because the Chitta goes into the root aspects of samskars and dispositions and tendencies. So Chitta is very wide concept. From samskars to vrittis, it is all Chitta. Where are your samskars? They are in Chitta. Where are your vrittis? They are in Chitta. Where are your manifest vrittis? They are in Chitta. Where are your unmanifest vrittis? They are in Chitta. Where are the cognizable vrittis? They are in Chitta. Where non-cognizable vrittis? They are in Chitta. And yoga is dealing with Chitta, and asanas are for Chitta. The entire mind, which is in I-ness, which is in intelligence, emotions, ego, memory, imagination, analysis, synthesis, perceptions, cognitions, all kinds of acts of mind. The basic fabric of Chitta would be there. The point is, sthirata, sukhata, not to you and me who are in asanas. Sthirata, sukhata, not to the body and mind which is in an asana. But sthirata, sukhata to the whole mind stuff, which is subsuming, permeating the body matter, surface, peripheral, to very deep aspects of body. Surface, peripheral mind to deep aspects of the mind. That must have steadiness and ease and comfort. So it is not that you must be easy and comfortable in asana, that must be easy and comfortable in asanas. It is not that you should be steady in asana, that should be steady in asana. So that is an important thing to be considered here, that sthirata, sukhata is to that. And what is that? That is chitta. And what is chitta? That chitta is entire matter which is permeating our embodiment, our existence, physical to mental. So like a naive person, don't think that I should be steady and comfortable in asanas, nor body should be steady and comfortable, nor mind should be steady and comfortable. The whole unified you, which is turned out by the orientation of asanas, preliminaries of asanas, protocol of asanas, that must be having sthirata and sukhata. So the chitta must have sthirata and sukhata. That is what the definition is saying. And it implies if it is chitta, the whole of you will be in that state. If the chitta is quiet, you cannot have a condition that my chitta is quiet but I am disquiet. My chitta is in unagitated state but I am agitated. The chitta is relaxed but I am worried, I am in anxiety. This doesn't happen. If the chitta is having that characteristic, it is all over you. You will be having that characteristic. Such is the influence of chitta on our embodiment, and therefore this sthirata, sukhata has reference to not the body or mind, and not to the body and mind, but to the whole chitta. So we have embarked upon the prologue to the topic of asanas. And I think that should be enough for the day. We will proceed in this matter in our next sessions.